Okie dokie. So, in the red corner, we have got You Are Notorious. And then in the blue corner, we have got VindicatoR. Notorious is playing the Norse. Starting a normal start here. Going on his hunt. And then we have got VindicatoR blue as the Celts. He's going for the meta that we're kind of seeing more often with the early villagers on wood. So we'll see what he decides to do with that. I'm assuming, yep, there's that early barracks coming down for VindicatoR. Looks like he's going for that standard Age 1 rush, Spearman rush. Celts are unique in that their Spearmen only cost food as a resource as opposed to food and gold. If you're familiar with the Age of Empires games, you've got 4 primary resources: food, wood, gold, and stone. So typically units either cost food and gold or wood and gold.
Ahura Mazda bless.
So those Celt Spearmen only cost food. Rupar, thank you for the follow. Rupar's got a follow coming in here. Alright, so VindicatoR's barracks is down. He's transitioning to food quite nicely here. VindicatoR's barrack, Notorious's barracks is going down now. There goes that barracks there. He's got his scout and a villager on the barracks, so Norse are unique in that they have 2 scouts. One scout is a melee scout and can build a barracks, and then one scout is a ranged scout and can build watch posts. Where is he? There he is. So he's making use of his melee scout to get his barracks down while his other scout is actually getting some map information. So this barracks is finished here for Notorious. We'll see what he decides to do with that. Here come those spearmen for VindicatoR across the map. VindicatoR got his spearmen out first, so we'll see what he chooses to do with that. Notorious is committed pretty hard to this corner of his base here. He's got his wood villagers right here next to his food villagers. He does have some spearmen out. Of course, being the defender, you have the advantage of having shorter distance to travel with your spearmen. Alright, Woot says in-game sound a bit too loud. I can change that real quick. Bear with me. Right, hopefully that helps. Alright. So we've got your standard Age 1 kind of spearman battle here. Notorious is on the attack. VindicatoR's on the attack. Notorious is on the defense. We've got 5 spearmen to 5, so pretty evenly matched. Here comes a 6th for VindicatoR. He's got a couple injured spearmen here. If he can micro well, he may be able to pull ahead in this battle. Notorious is putting down a longhouse here next to his villagers. For those of you who are new to the game, Norse, their longhouse costs more wood, but it houses 10 population, and it can garrison villagers. So this is a very well-placed longhouse for Notorious. Pretty big battle here. Notorious has got his villagers. He barely saved that one there. And there goes a spearman for VindicatoR. VindicatoR's pulling out a little bit. Some very nice vanity on these Norse spearmen here. Oh, we've got some scouting going on over here. Got another hunt. Notorious is shifting to this hunt on his right. Pretty smart move by him. VindicatoR up to 8 spearmen versus the 6 and the scouts of Notorious. Let's check out VindicatoR's base here. Pretty standard. Celts have to throw down some houses to get to the next age. Looks like VindicatoR has not aged yet. Yep, there it comes. Hitting that age up. It looks like he's starting to get ready for his second town center. Meanwhile, Notorious is in age 2, and he's got some throwing axemen coming out, so he's going to quickly be able to turn the tide of this battle with his throwing axemen. Alright, here's another engagement. Looks like Vindicator's trying to take down that storehouse. He's not going to get it. He recognizes that with these throwing axemen, he's not going to win that engagement. So Notorious, very well done defense here. Working on some goats. And goats are tasty. Alright, so Vindicator has moved around. He scouted that second hunt. Very good scouting from Vindicator, so he has moved to this second hunt. He knew Notorious was there. And will he get that villager? He did. He did get a villager. Lost a spearman. Lost 2 because of it, but probably the better trade there for Vindicator. It's always good to hurt the economy of your opponent. Vindicator doing a decent job of keeping his resources down, as is Notorious. Although, yeah, there's the second barracks for Vindicator and the third barracks for Vindicator. Interesting. A lot of times with Celts you see a slinger ball in age 2 with slingers and some druids, but it looks like Vindicator's going to commit to these long swordsmen. These long swordsmen are good anti-infantry units. Let's see here. Another unique aspect of the Norse is their infantry can build military buildings. So Notorious just put down a second barracks with his army here. He's protecting that second hunt. Well played by him. He needs to make use of his scout here. Like to maybe see some line of sight on the map with a watch post or 2. Maybe get out some war dogs from his watch post. Harass the base of Vindicator. Try to turn the tides a little bit. Okay, Vindicator's getting this storehouse down from the wood gathering of Notorious. Notorious has got some villagers here. He's going to protect them, but he is going to have to shift his lumberjacking to the other part of his tree line here. So Vindicator doing a great job of kind of harassing Notorious, keeping him on his toes. Vindicator doing a great job with his economy. Finally getting that second town center down here. He's going for a pretty defensive spot for his town center. It's an interesting choice. You know, he's kind of got control of the map right now due to his early aggression. So you might have seen his town center maybe out here protecting one of these next gold mines. Although he doesn't have many great options. So that's good enough there. Alright, here comes a push from Notorious. He's got his spearman, his throwing axeman. He's coming in. This poor rhino. Half health. He's just kind of chilling with him. Alright, what does Vindicator have to respond to this? Not much. He's got a lower population, 52 to 60 of Notorious. Villager count 28 to 30, so fairly even on the villager count. But Notorious does have a higher military population. He's going for these houses. He's going to push into this tree line. Vindicator needs to respond quickly. He's going to get a house here. And Notorious, taking advantage of the shift in momentum, has gone a little bit more forward with his town center to protect this stone mine and these bushes, berry bushes. Vindicator has managed to defend this push by Notorious. Lost one house. Huge deal. He's got a second town center up. Let me hear what you guys think. This is a fairly even match so far. Who do you think is going to come out ahead? This poor rhino is going to bite the dust. Oh, nope, he survives. So we've got a little raid here from Vindicator. Looks like Notorious has backed off with his army, but Vindicator is pushing in. Looked like he might try to go for a longhouse, but looks like he's pushing in. It's an interesting choice. I guess he's going for that wood line, but he had to take a lot of town center fire as a result. Looks like he's going to get 1, 2 villagers. A couple villagers, and then he's going to make a run for it. Loses a longswordman. 2. 28 villagers now to 40 for Vindicator. Vindicator got that town center up faster. So all of a sudden, Vindicator has a sizable advantage in his economy, as well as population. Guys, this game is going back and forth so far. All right. So, sorry about that. We've got Notorious building some more barracks with his infantry. Vindicator got an empty queue. He's got a lot. He's flooding a lot of food right now. For those of you who maybe are new to Age of Empires or Age of Empires Online, generally speaking, you want to try to keep your resources as low as possible. Not because you don't want resources, but because you want to gather them, and then spend them quickly. So he's getting his food down there, getting some more villagers out. 48 villagers to 36. So still a sizable advantage there for Vindicator. Vindicator's still moving in with a kind of a two-pronged raid here. I like this play. Although he knows that there's nothing here in terms of economy, so that's an interesting choice there. I wonder if he's maybe joining these forces. Yeah, it looks like he's going to join them. They got a big push here from Notorious. Vindicator needs to respond. He's getting some druids out. He's got some healing. Still choosing to go full barracks, no slingers, which is understandable. Slingers are generally anti-ranged, and Notorious is entirely infantry at the moment, so it's an understandable play from Vindicator, although I do like that he's getting some druids out here. Well done. Woot believes that Vindicator is going to pull out ahead in this matchup. We'll see. The advantage Notorious has in this current composition is that his infantry, throwing axemen, they're technically have a range to them. Of course, throwing axemen, they actually throw their axes, and so they've got a range, whereas Vindicator's longswordsmen are a traditional melee unit, so he's got to kind of close the gap on these throwing axemen. He's pulled his raiding party back. He decided that he couldn't get much done and needed to defend his base, so population is fairly even, 140 population to 132 for Notorious, 48 vills to 60, so still an economy lead for Vindicator, and it's starting to show. Here's a big engagement. Let's see what happens here. Those throwing axemen are eating through those longswordsmen. Vindicator decides to back off, but here comes a flank. He's not going to use it. He's going to keep backing off. Oh, he might be losing this party here. Might be losing his raiding party. Okay, he escapes there. He's going to see these berry pickers. Is he going to go for it? No, he's going to miss that opportunity. He's going to get that storehouse. Notorious. Very sizable army of throwing axemen here. Let's see what he decides to do with it. Vindicator he had the momentum there, and he decided to back off. I think he's trying to mass his longswordsmen. Get him healed up with these druids. These druids could be a factor to help him turn the tide against these throwing axemen. Throwing axemen, Notorious can kite with that ranged attack, leaving some to defend his base, which is a smart move given that Vindicator is still looking for trouble up here in the north. Neither player wanting to press the attack here. It looks like they're content to build their economies. No age 3 from Vindicator yet. No age 3 from Notorious yet, although it looks like, yep, he is researching age 3, so Notorious is going to age 3. Got a two-pronged attack here from Vindicator. Vindicator's going for this armory here. What is he going to do with this northern raiding party? I'd like to see him move in with this. He's also got an attack from Notorious. This is kind of crazy, folks. We've got the main force of Notorious here in the base of Vindicator. He's got his main force here as well. He's going to fight in these choke points between his houses. Here's an engagement. Notorious doing a good job of kiting with his throwing axeman. Still kind of teetering on the brink here. Notorious was able to defend that raiding party, but he did get the armory. Vindicator did get the armory there, so that was a good little push. He's going to have to take care of that rhino. It keeps hurting his poor longswordsman there. Folks, thanks for tuning in. We're back up to 40 viewers. We lost some viewers there because of the streamer switch. We're going to be switching again after this, so please don't go anywhere. This is the first match in a best-of-3 series for the Lowgarden finals. We've got Vindicator here going in on these villagers of Notorious. Notorious has pulled back his main force. He needs to respond. Here's his defense party. Going to defend this raid by Vindicator. Vindicator needs to respond and get those guys out of there. He's pulling back here. Did get a few villagers, so that was nice. A lot of gold miners up here for Notorious, so we'll see if Vindicator spots those gold miners. Maybe picks off a villager or two. Vindicator kind of splitting his army. He's got one home defense force. Both players are kind of timid. You know, they're kind of defending their base. They push out and then fall back when that push doesn't work. But finally, Notorious going for some stables here, or excuse me, some archery ranges and a stable. So it'll be interesting to see what Notorious pulls out of these archery ranges. I'm going to assume he's going to go for some bowmen to counter the infantry of Vindicator. But very nice feature of the Norse here. Can save villager gathering time by building with your military units. So well played there by Notorious. Vindicator not doing anything with this raiding party. That's unfortunate. He's got a lot of gold miners up here he could pick off, or pick on, I should say. Here's another little raiding party from Vindicator, still focusing on these food gatherers. He's going to try to take down that storehouse, maybe pull away, I'm assuming. Here comes another two-pronged attack. He's getting some bowmen himself. So it looks like we're going to have bowmen and throwing axemen versus bowmen and longswordsmen. Both players trying to go for that anti-infantry. Vindicator does have some druids in his main force here. I like the harassment from Vindicator. Vindicator's keeping Notorious on his toes, keeping these two-pronged attacks going. It looks like he's finally going to get these gold miners. Oh, great reaction time from Notorious. Great reaction time. He's flooding a lot of resources here. I'm assuming he's looking to go age 4 soon, but he needs to use this wood and this gold. He's finally queuing up some bowmen from his archery ranges. He does have his stables down. We might see some raiders to get some raiding done. Big engagement in the middle of the map here. The main forces. It looks like Vindicator's pulling ahead in this match, or in this engagement. Possibly the bowmen are really picking on these throwing axemen here. That meat shield of the longswordsman. Druids are getting the healing in. Vindicator's pushing Notorious back into his base. He's also got a raid in the north here. Excellent two-pronged attack. Notorious doing a great job of kiting. Macroing is he's getting some Harjar and Berserkers. Okay, Berserkers coming onto the field. Is it going to be enough? Oh, Vindicator decides to back off. Didn't like his advantage, decides to pull back. I don't know about the decision. He's got a sizable population advantage currently. 69 villagers to 72 of Vindicator. Close villager count here, but the population, Vindicator's got a decent advantage. Here's another engagement, pushing in on the town center. Decides to go into the town center fire. We'll see if it pays off for him. These bowmen are tearing apart these throwing axemen. But it looks like Notorious has wisely decided to go for skirmishers to counter the bowmen of Vindicator. You have to wonder, I assume the original plan was bowmen for Notorious as well, but he decides to switch gears to skirmishers to try to deal with these bowmen of Vindicator. Let's see how this engagement works out. Notorious has defender's advantage. He's going to try to put down a fortress right here in the middle of this battle. I don't know if it's going to work. Vindicator pushing in, gets the fortress, hiding with his bowman, getting some walls up to gain map control while he can, defend against raids. He's got a second party over here. He's going to get these gold miners. Decides to back off here. Is he going to see this fortress? Let's see. He has scouted the fortress, so he knows that's going down. Is he going to push in for it? It doesn't look like it. Notorious is going to get this fortress up. Let's see what happens. Big push here by Vindicator. Now he's going to have to fight under this fortress as well. He does not want that engagement. He did get these gold miners, as I suspected. Looks like he got a majority of them, got both storehouses. So while he's pulling back here, did manage to get some of the economy of Notorious. Let's say Vindicator has the slight edge here.
Thanks for the great cast, Spaniard.
But
can't wait for the Roman tournament when they release.
Vindicator has a slight advantage here, but he's got to push his advantage. Thank you very much for the donation. $10 donation. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Big engagement here. Vindicator's pushing in. He's going to try to get that longhouse. He needs to get on these throwing axemen with his bowman. Micro his bowman onto these throwing axemen. Sizable skirmisher and bowman count for Notorious. He's still got his raiding party over here. A couple long swordsmen here are going to stop these villagers from trying to get that gold. Vindicator having a tough time cracking the base of Notorious, but he is managing to slowly chokehold Notorious off of the resources of the map. He's got control of this gold mine over here to the east and the gold mine to the north with the help of one or two long swordsmen. So he's got a chokehold right now on Notorious, slowly starving Notorious out. Notorious is close to full population, but as you can see, his resources are very low. He's getting some more bowmen onto the field, choosing to transition to bowmen. Here comes a push by Vindicator. Got another longhouse, constantly keeping Notorious kind of capped on his population, just kind of poking in and poking back out. Seems to be a good strategy that's working out well for him so far. He's floating a lot of food. Let's check out the base real quick of Vindicator. Has not gone H4 yet. Looks like a possible engagement here. We'll see what happens. Vindicator does not want this fight. Here we go. Big engagement. He needs to micro these bowmen. Take out these throwing axemen with the bowmen. Get his long swordsmen onto these skirmishers and bowmen of the Notorious army here. Notorious is going to pull ahead in this engagement. Vindicator chooses to back off. Folks, I don't know. This could go either way. Notorious has got to push out, get some control of his resources. He has got to get some gold. He is starved on his gold. He cannot produce any more units currently. He does not have any space to get a market line down either. If you're new to Age of Empires, markets provide gold by trading between the markets and the town center. Vindicator got a fortress in the middle of the map. Let's see if he can hold it. Notorious knows he has got to claim this gold mine, so he's pushing onto this fortress. Here comes the army of Vindicator. Vindicator is fighting under the fire of this fortress, but Notorious has a sizable army here. Great composition. He needs to micro onto his skirmishers onto these bowmen. These bowmen are slowly picking apart these throwing axemen. Although throwing axemen kited the long swordsmen. Long swordsmen are down. Vindicator no longer has a meat shield for his army. He's getting some champions onto the field. He did go age 4. He's now on age 4. He's getting some champions onto the field. It looks like Vindicator will pull ahead in this engagement here with the help of his fortress. It's barely hanging on. He's got another fortress now behind it. Here comes a Farbior for Notorious. He did get that fortress, but Vindicator smartly threw down another fortress right behind it to continue to control this map. Notorious is pushing back. He has got to get some gold. He has no gold. barely any resources in general. He's got to get some gold. He's going to go for this gold mine again, but he's going to meet the troublemakers over here of Vindicator. These long swordsmen are going to deny this gold mine, but Notorious smartly sending some of his army to claim this gold mine. He knows he has got to get some gold. Vindicator choosing to fall back a little bit, make use of his advantage while he can. He has got the sizable economy lead, sizable population lead. Vindicator just needs to really go in for the killing blow here. He's got some champions on the field, a few Woad Raiders. Woad Raiders, one of the coolest units in the game. No armor. They're too badass for that. He's pushing in. He's going to get a barracks. Notorious has no answer. He only has his remaining army here because he was starved for gold. He did finally get this gold mine, and he's got a sizable amount of villagers on this gold mine. But will it be enough? Big engagement here. Big push from Vindicator. He's pushing the army of Notorious back. He's pushing into the base. It looks like he's going to finish off this army of Notorious. Can he press his advantage? Is someone going to finally take the advantage in this game? It appears Vindicator has done it. Notorious knows that he cannot come back from that. He knows that he just did not have the resources. Well done by Vindicator with his early aggression, and then slowly took control of the map and just choked Notorious off of his resources. Vindicator knowingly chose to split his army and cover these gold mines of Notorious, and slowly but surely he was able to take advantage of the game and win. Let's take a look at some stats here. Pretty even through the beginning of the game. This is the score here. But as you can see, Notorious slowly started to lose his score after he was choked off of his mines there. Let's look at villagers trained. Pretty even throughout the entire game. Let's look at the military current units population. As you can see, Notorious again kind of at that 17-minute mark. His population just declined, and then he was never able to recover as a result of that chokehold by Vindicator. So well played by Vindicator. Well done. Excellent game there. That was a very close game. Well played by both players. Let me get the next map and the next civs. All right. So Vindicator takes a 1-0 lead in this best of 3.
Bless you.
We'll see if he can close it out. Zeus, thank you very much for the follow to the channel. All right, so I'm going to update our stream here. If you'll just hang tight with me. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let me know what you think about that match. Where did Notorious go wrong? What do you think the tipping point of the match was? Let me know in chat while I'm updating our stream here. Vindicator versus Notorious Game 2. Taking a lead in the series, 1-0. I'll give the competitors a minute to select their next civs. Notorious, the loser, is able to select the next map. He has chosen the map Treasure Island. Treasure Island is one of my favorite maps because essentially the map is land on one side, and then you've got a small amount of water kind of on the southeastern part of the map with literally a treasure island out in the water that provides a lot of resources. So we'll see what the players choose to do on Treasure Island. Will they go for the water? Will they stay on the land? We will see. We will see in the second match. So let me see if these players are ready. We're back up to almost 50 viewers. Welcome, everyone. Again, this is Age of Empires Online, Project Celeste. Huge shout out to the development team of Project Celeste. I've revived Age of Empires Online. If you're not familiar with Age of Empires Online, it's an MMO RTS. It's a ton of fun. It's got MMO components, such as a persistent capital city. Base game is an RTS. One of my favorite games of all time. Killer Joss 1, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you very much for the follow. So, if you guys haven't checked out Age of Empires Online, Project Celeste yet, check it out. Links in the description of the channel. Super easy to download. You can download the base game, either on Steam or through the website, and then you simply have to download the launcher for Project Celeste to access the game. Very easy to download and get going. It's a ton of fun, whether you're a player versus environment player or a player versus player type of player. It's a ton of fun, so I very much encourage you all to check it out. Let's see if these gentlemen are ready. I'm going to get the competitors into the next game here. I'm going to head right into the game. Alright, Vindicator has chosen Persia, while Notorious is going to go for Egypt. Persia versus Egypt. This is going to be an interesting matchup. See if we can get Vindicator into the match here. Alright, so we've got Vindicator playing Persians, Notorious playing the Egyptians. We're going to be playing on Treasure Island. Let me get this game set up here for us, folks. Excuse me. Greeky says, yeah, strong raids wins map control. You're very much right. Greeky, I think the raiding and the map, you know, everyone tends to think that map control primarily means, you know, controlling the map with your buildings. But you can also control the map with your units. Vindicator did a great job of splitting his army up, and even though he wasn't able to win direct engagements with the main force of Notorious, he was able to control the map by splitting his army up. So well played, well done. Alright, our players are ready. So let's get into this match here, folks. Without further ado, Game 2, Lowgarden Finals, Gerda's Gauntlet Tournament. Will Vindicator pull out the 2-0 victory, or will Notorious get the victory here, pull it to a 1-1? We will see. We will see. Game's starting up here. Excuse me. Let me get us into the match. Pardon me while I mess up terribly. Oh no. 1-0. Alright. Here we go, folks. Alright, in the blue corner we have got Vindicator. In the red corner we have You Are Notorious. Vindicator playing the blue Persians. Again, going for that early barracks build. Getting Storehouse down in his hunts. Notorious also going for the early barracks build. The starting villagers on wood. He's playing the Egyptians. Egyptians have a strong economy, strong late game. Persians are pretty well balanced all around. Here goes that barracks for Vindicator. Let me know what you think in the chat, folks. Who's going to win this match? Is Vindicator going to pull it out with his Persians, or is Notorious going to even it up? We will see. Danja says, can't wait for Roman release to see only Roman mirror matches. Absolutely. I am super hyped for the Roman release. If you all are new to the game, or maybe just returning to the game, maybe you didn't know Age of Empires Online was back with Project Celeste. You know, one of the biggest letdowns from the original game was that we never got the Romans. Well, folks, we are getting the Romans thanks to the development team of Project Celeste. So huge shout out to the development team for bringing us the Romans. Scheduled for a 2019 release. Be sure to check out the forums to follow along the progress. The summer event just went live for Age of Empires Online at Project Celeste, so check that out as well. Brand new quests, PvE, PvP quests, brand new gear. It's amazing. Okay, so pretty standard start here for our players. Pretty even start as well. We've got 2 Spearmen out versus 2 Sparabara of Vindicator. Vindicator, again, just barely beating Notorious to the punch. Just taking out this pesky bear. Doesn't want to lose health as he comes to the hunt of Notorious. Vindicator lost this Sparabara. He forgot to change his waypoint. He may lose it due to the snare. Scouting the coastline here is Vindicator. Scouting Notorious's coastline. Wants to check for a cheeky dock play. Although I personally would love to see a dock from one of these players to take control of the water while they can. Vindicator amassing his Sparabara here. We'll see what he decides to do there with that. Folks, I'm going to leave it right here for just a moment and try to fix this score because it is looking a little messed up. There we go. That's better. That is better. All right. Greeky says Notorious is good with his Egypt. Yeah, we'll see. It looks like he was able to get that barracks up a little sooner than he was as Norse. He's got a sizable spearman count here, 8 to the 7, 8 Sparabara of Vindicator. Notorious is going for that dock. He does want to get water control, but it looks like Vindicator has responded with a dock of his own. It's going to be close, folks. We've got the dock finished for Notorious. Not far behind is Vindicator. Neither player has gone to age 2 yet. Egypt are unique in that they have to build a temple to go to age 2. So we will see what happens here. Again, we're at 50 viewers, folks. Spread the word. Share the stream. Get your friends in here. It's a grand old time. Vindicator has found the dock of Notorious. He picked off that poor fisherman. And he's now going to attempt to bring down this dock. Notorious is going to get some fishing boats out. Now, the interesting thing about fishing boats is that fishing boats do have an attack. It is small, but they can attack nevertheless. Notorious is responding with his spearmen. He's going to be able to save his dock. Fishing boats can repair as well, so he's going to be able to repair his dock here and save it. Vindicator harassing still Notorious. Harassing these hunters. Is he going to get a villager? Yes, he is. That flank of meat was too heavy for that villager. Was not able to escape. And also, poking in here on the wood line with his Sparabara. Notorious is able to defend here, but what's he going to do about this up here? Well, he's going to attack with his villagers. The villagers are going to take down these Sparabara, but here comes the secondary force of Vindicator. He's going to try to press the issue on this storehouse here. Looks like he's not going to be able to do it. He's going to try to... No, he's going to push away. These spearmen came in here to save the day for Vindicator. Vindicator's got his fishing boats out. Dock is up now for... I'm sorry, Notorious has got his fishing boats out. Vindicator's got his dock up as well. Age 2 for Vindicator. Still in age 1 for Notorious. Notorious has got to get to age 2. He's got his Temple of Ra down. He's throwing about 5 villagers on that Temple of Ra. He knows he needs to get to age 2 here to respond to Vindicator's age 2. Still looking for trouble up here in the north. He's going to try to push in again, but no such luck. No such luck with this spearman here of Notorious. He really wants to keep that hunt. Let's check out the base of Vindicator. Vindicator going for an archery range. Going to get out some bowmen to respond to those spearmen and any axemen. Also a stables, so a pretty standard composition here for Vindicator. What's known as a 1-1-1 composition. We've got 1 barracks, 1 archery range, 1 stables. So you'd think we'll see some ranged cavalry and infantry coming out from Vindicator. Vindicator's got a galley up. He's deciding to stay defensive with his galley. He's getting a second dock up as well. No trireme yet for Notorious. We'll see what he chooses to do here. Notorious building a wall with his houses. Got a couple idle villagers here. Building a wall with your houses is a catch-22. It's a good defensive measure, but you can also lose your houses, which reduces your population. Speaking of which, let's check out the villager count. 26 of Vindicator to 30 of Notorious. So slight advantage for Notorious, mostly from these early fishing boats. Going for a second dock as well as Notorious. A little push here from Vindicator. Looking for trouble. He's got some Sparabara, got some bowmen in the mix now. So these spearmen and a few axemen now as well. It doesn't really scare Vindicator with his bowmen. No Asabara yet. Oh, there's one Asabara. So he's going for that standard build. He needs to get his villagers moving here. He's going to push in. He pushes Notorious off this hunt, but really there was only 1 deer to speak of with 19 food left. So not a huge loss for Notorious. Notorious is ahead in villagers only slightly. Pretty even on population, 63 to 61 for Notorious. Here's that first trireme. Both players choosing to go defensive with the water. I would like to see some water battles here. That's my personal preference. I'd like to see some land engagements going on at the same time as some naval engagements, but no such luck. It does look like Notorious maybe is getting brave with his triremes. We'll see what he chooses to do here. Poor scout is going to go down to a few shots from this raiding party of Vindicator. We will see what happens. Looks like he's got some Asabara in the mix now. He's going to look to force the issue. Notorious does have a few slingers on the field, so he'll be able to use those slingers to his advantage on these bowmen if he can micro them well. Goes an axeman for Notorious. Here comes some water engagement. I'm missing it. Oh no. Third trireme for Notorious is going to take out a galley of Vindicator. But Vindicator is going to press the advantage on the land. Or is he? He needs to press the advantage on the land while he can. Notorious is going to poke on these docks. This galley is just kind of chilling for Vindicator. We'll see if he decides. He's kind of engaged up here in this battle. Notorious is going to be able to push Vindicator away with the help of that town center. Notorious is beginning to pull away with this economy advantage. These fishing boats, he's got a sizable amount of food here. He needs to get down his... there's his second town center. He's got a lot of villagers coming out. He needs to make use of that food. Vindicator doing a great job of keeping his resources low. He's getting a sizable army on the land here, but has chosen to give up the water. Not sure what he's going to do with that galley. He needs to make use of that galley while he can. Just a little raid from Vindicator, trying to get some map information with his Asabara. Trying to amass his army here. Slightly behind in population, but does have the advantage on the land thus far. Killer Josh says he feels as though Vindicator is going to win because he's so aggressive. And you may be right, Killer Josh. Aggression tends to pay off in Age of Empires Online if you can manage it well, but Notorious is doing a great job of defending thus far. Empowering both of his town centers. Here's a raid. Asabara raid. He needs to respond to this. Here comes some spearmen to try to deal with these Asabara, but they are going to pick off a couple of villagers. And now he's going to press his advantage here, pushing into the base. Will this be enough? Notorious has got a lead in the economy, but can he hold? He's getting some camels onto the field to try to deal with these Asabara. He needs to respond. He's got a lot of units queued up here. Can he hold? What'll it be, folks? Is he going to be able to hold? Vindicator pressing the advantage. But has to fight under this town center fire. Defender's advantage to Notorious, but can he manage to stop this invasion from Vindicator? Vindicator constantly stringing in units here across the field. Has given up the water, but it doesn't matter at this point. He has taken his advantage on land. Pushing in. Notorious is trying to hold on by a thread. He needs to get some more production facilities down with his wood. He's got 1,700 wood floating there. He needs to use some of these wood gatherers to throw down some more barracks, more stables, to try to respond to this push from Vindicator. Vindicator pulling it even again in score as he decimates the base of Notorious. Oh my goodness. I don't know if Notorious is going to be able to recover. I want to see a game 3, folks, but it looks like Vindicator is going to press his advantage. He has forced the villagers into the town center of Notorious. He's having his way with the base. How is Notorious going to respond? You know what I'd like to see, folks? I'd love to see a merchant transport. Get his survivors onto a merchant transport and get onto this treasure island. Hold the shoreline and make his last stand on the treasure island. Is he going to be able to do it? He's got some gold miners here. He could do it. He could get a merchant transport and escape to the treasure island. We will see. It looks like Vindicator maybe is thinking the exact same thing I'm thinking. We'll see what happens here. He has decided to leave the base of Notorious. I don't know if that's the best decision. Honestly, he probably could have taken this town center if he had remained in the base. This is going to give Notorious a chance to respond. He's got to get some gold, though. Once again, starved for gold. Takes down that dock. These gold miners are left out in the dry. Here come the triremes. A little naval on land engagement here. He's going to be able to save the second dock. Did some significant damage to the army of Vindicator here. And here comes a flank, a pincer from Notorious from his land army. Isn't going to be enough. Triremes are now out of the battle. Can he micro these slingers onto the bowmen? He needs to get the slingers off the Asabara and onto the bowmen. Get these spearmen onto the Asabara. He does not do so. These gold miners desperately need to get some gold for their empire. This empire is gold starved, no doubt. Here comes another two-pronged attack from Vindicator. Vindicator, the master of this two-pronged attack here. He's got his second town center. His base is thriving. Constant pressure. Look at this army just streaming across the map for Vindicator. Notorious, get a merchant transport. Get these gold miners to the treasure island. That's your best hope. You'll see he's pushing in again here with his second army. Coming into the wood line with his primary army. Going to take out these wood gatherers. Lumberjacks. Notorious hanging on by a thread, but he's just so gold starved. He's food starved as well. He's got to get some of his lumberjacks off of wood and onto food. He's trying to get some farms, but it's not going to be enough. Vindicator has once again surrounded the empire of Notorious. Notorious does throw in the towel, throws in the GG. GG, well played from both players. Wow. That was a close match in the beginning. Notorious once again did a great job of defending, but he was never able to push out of his base and gain some map control. Vindicator once again was able to take advantage of the map. He was able to push Notorious off of his gold mine in his own base. He attempted to transition to this shoreline gold mine here. Maybe if he had brought his triremes in sooner to protect this gold mine, once he knew he had won the water. Vindicator says, I should probably hide the chat. Vindicator says, thought you were going to the island. I thought he would too. He could have gathered gold uninhibited, thrown down a town center, and made his last stand on the treasure island, but Vindicator was able to get a dock up late, so he knew Treasure Island was probably Notorious's last hope, but nevertheless, well played to Vindicator, well played to Notorious. Excellent matches there. Great map control from Vindicator. Tell me what you guys thought of the game. It looked like it was... I hope it was entertaining from your perspective. It was entertaining from my perspective. Let's check out some quest stats here. Notorious says he wasn't thinking about the treasure island. Look, so the score again was very even most of the game. Even slight advantage to Notorious here until the end when he just lost his resources. Let's look at this gold total. Or actually, is there a current gold? Let's look at current gold. So as you can see here, current gold, Notorious had a fairly steady gold income, and then it just plummeted. Let's go gold total. And he just got starved for gold at the end there. Couldn't respond to Vindicator's invasion with his primary force there. Let's look at villagers trained. And Notorious had the advantage on villagers and economy the whole time, especially because of this water advantage. So that's the advantage of gaining control of the water on water maps, is you're able to get these fishing boats out, get that food gathering. But it wasn't enough. So well played to Vindicator. Vindicator is your Lowgarden champion. Everyone, give it up for Vindicator, your Lowgarden champion.